Time for the toss to be spun. It's tails. The toss won by Rovers. And what would you like to do?
We would like to bat first. We would like to bat first.
And what's the reason behind that?
Nothing much. We actually played well in the first batting. So, yeah.
You like to keep up the momentum. I understand. And what would you have done?
Batting.
So it's not a toss that you wanted to actually have, but what are you planning to do with that toss right now?
Nothing. Restrict them below 80, 90.
Is that something that you've already done in the past, or is it just something that you want to do for the first time?
We have already done it before 2 years in this pitch. We will continue the same.
Great. All the best to both the teams. You have best of the wins. And she will be bowling to Pavani for Rovers. First delivery of the first over. Up in the air, that's what she's capable of. And that's a good catch. So it is a dot ball at the end. And she is capable of getting those 4s and 6s. I haven't seen a 6 yet, but I'm sure that she does pack a punch. But she's got 4s in every single match that she's played. The ball going Burj Khalifa's height. Landing on the leg side for a wide. This time it goes over the fielder. Chance of a run out and a jaunty road style affected. Yaguru. Onde rantane kottpudbodittalla. Why this Kolaveri? Nevertheless, it's just 1 run is what she was aiming for. But the man at mid-off was not ready to accept it. To the road style. Accept the flying. That's a good shot again to the man at that. Will he run again? This time he doesn't. Now I know why he had to come to the stumps. She steals a single. Very well done. Pavani is off, up and running. 1 run on the board. This time she finds the next door house. Wrong door to be knocking. She has to come back to those 3 stumps. Much better delivery. Oh, beautiful shot. She pierces the field. She still gets 1 run. She's coming back for 2, I'm sure, and she will complete. Excellent running between the wickets. It's given out. No, it isn't. What a shot to get 2 runs for herself. She's very, very strong on the leg side. I'm surprised that there's no fine leg. It is a very, very fine backward square leg, but not really a fine leg. This time up in the air. The man doesn't move. He takes a one-handed catch. Three runs on the board. Last ball coming up. Oh, she wanted to go for a hit down the fine leg region. Chance of a run out and a direct hit. Could have got her out, unfortunately. After the end of the first over, 4 for no loss. Swing and a miss. Again going towards the wide line. Good shot again. She gets 1 run. Good throw from the deep. She is very, very smart. She's choosing her field and her shot very well. She knows the man is not too deep at square leg, so she tries to go for fine leg, and that's a good choice of shot. Took 2 minutes to come to her. She enjoyed that tee, I believe. And she takes 1, coming back for a second, and now great running between the wickets. What is happening in the middle? It's utter chaos. They've got 5 people there, and none of them managed to stop her from 2. A good throw from the deep as well, but a fumble from the captain. Too tall. He took some time to get to the ground floor to get to the ball. So allow that extra. Good shot. And that goes through the legs. And that should be a run out. She's trying her luck. Well, once bitten, twice shy is the captain. This time round, he picks it up and takes the bails out. Can you please be a little gentle there, captain? Be the gentleman you are. Oh, swing and a miss. That's a wide, of course. I thought there was a dance move from the bowler all of a sudden after that went for wide. Oh, that's not great shot. She's sweeping off the floor. That's not broom, madam. You're much better than that. Again, she tries to go for a big one. That's the end, I believe. Yes, that is the end. What a great job done by Pavani for her team. 8 for no loss. Single-handedly, she gets 8 runs for her team after the end of 2 overs. And with that, we've got change in the batting department, of course. I'm sure the captain will be stepping in. We've got Srini walking into the middle alongside the captain himself. And usually the first over is delivered by Pratik for Crushers. So this is the time for the redemption. The left armour comes around the wicket. It will be 2 right-handers in the middle, Srinivas and Karthik. That's down the leg side to begin with. Two wides. Umpire, could you please hold on for a second? We've got some technical slags. The snag has to be rectified. Apologies for that delay. Unfortunately, we are handicapped with technology. Let's get cracking. Apologies for that hiatus from us. But here we go. Yes, we ready? Pratik. Well, 3 wides consecutively. Hat-trick of wides and he immediately goes over the wicket. Pratik coming over the wicket, long on and square leg. A Moro mid-wicket. Dab that out for a single. And he gets off strike as Srinivas. The captain on strike for the first time. Well, first runs on the board from the bat has come through as well. It's 4 of the over, 12 overall. The third over in progress. The captain still surveying the field while the bowler was ready to go at him. Tried to cut that away and he misses out. It was too close to comfort for Karthik. But good vision. That was an empty field. Fuller in length, moving away from the batsman. That's usually the tactic from a left armour, especially with his natural angle, always taking the ball away from the batsman. And usually they succeed because of that natural angle. And it's always the release that the right armers get confused about. Well played. Much better shot. He was on top of that delivery while trying to drive it. Previously, he was just trying to dab it away for a single. Was not able to get on top of it. So he had to defend that. But this time round, a much better shot. Oh, that's the first sign of aggression from the captain. It was a low full toss. Too full for the liking of the batsman. He was just trying to push that towards the man at long on. Full toss! And dished the treatment. It has gone all the way, has it? Yes, it has. Says the umpire. That is a great shot. Well, of course, it was there for the taking, but after the end of the over, scorecard reached 20 for no loss. A 12-run over that. Very good start from the batting department of Rovers. They were chasing a mighty target yesterday. They were not able to get there, but today it's a fresh day. Fresh legs against this team, I mean. And a new setup in terms of light for them, because yesterday they were chasing under the sun. But with the lights on, the ball comes onto the bat better. But let's also not forget that Crushers have a really good batting attack. Good shot. Right in the gap. That should be running away to the fence. No stopping that. That goes for 4 runs. Beautiful shot from Srinivas. That was too short, of course. But the most important problem was there's no pace behind it. So he had a lot of time to smack that away to the fence on the offside. Unni is the new man to bowl. First delivery, and he's been greeted with a boundary. But definitely not a great boundary for Crushers. It's a good shot again, running away to the fence. Makes some room by going on the offside and flashes it away to the fence. Beautiful shot. And that goes for 4 runs again. 2 in 2 for Srinivasan. Srinivas Rao gets 2 in 2 against Unni Krishnan. Aggressive enough to get some elevation on it, but not good enough to go to 4 runs. That should have been taken in the first place. The fielder was not ready on to get to that. Fuller one. That's a much better shot. He had to lean into that and used all that blade to get it down the ground. That is a good shot from Srinivas. He waited for it. He had to check his shot a bit because the ball was slower in the air. And then he had to go through with the flow. That was a beautiful backlift and a follow through for that shot. He had to lean so well to get that done. And after leaning into it, the bat follow through did the rest. That's pure timing for you, not much of power behind it. Using the power play to good effect. Last over of the power play with 2 more deliveries to go. Full toss, and that's poor bowling. That is poor bowling, in fact. That has been put away for 4 runs towards square leg. Was never there in the first place for the bowler. Shouldn't have gone for that line. Did not have protection in the deep, and that line is always an easier one for the subcontinent batsmen. No matter which level, it's all bread and butter for cricketers in the subcontinent. On the pads, and you are punished. Again, a checked shot. But this time had to use a lot of power rather than timing. Since he relied on power, he got some runs. 39 after the end of 4 overs. 39 for no loss. That's the most important thing. They've not lost a wicket. They've scored 31 in the last 2 overs. The captain picks up the ball himself. He's ready to take on the battle against his counterpart. And he will be bowling to Srinivasan first, who seems to be in red hot form. And he's timed a couple of deliveries very well, and the others, he's used power as well. That's a deadly combination. And you're able to time as well as also use great power. With the field relaxations in, we got square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, as well as deep cover. Srini is batting on 21, well made 21, and just 8 deliveries. He's almost batting at 300 strike rate. That's up in the air, should be another 4. That is a good shot. Not a great start from the captain. String down leg side again. Well, that's a lesson that he hasn't learned from the previous over. But the common theme is that we've seen bowlers string down leg side or bowling extras the first delivery because they've not warmed up well enough. They've not bowled a couple of deliveries to their partners. Especially, it's good to let your arm loose. Check 1, 2, 3. We're back on. It's high up in the air. And the keeper drops it. Big, big wicket. Well. Will he ride his luck here, Srinivas? And take a toll on crushers and crush them with their own bowling attack? Or will it be the crushers who will come back better? This seems to be a good start for their redemption. They've done a good job thus far. Lekada takes an outside edge. Single to get off strike. Down the leg side he goes. He does a dance move to go to the offside. Well, she was trying to throw it. It's just that she was confused which side to throw. I get it. With the lights on, you can always be confused. That's a good shot. That should be running away to the fence. But a good stop from Pratik himself in the deep. This turns out to be an expensive over. Generally, he bowls a very tight over, Jagan, but this time around he's given away 14. 53 on the cards with one more delivery to go off the 5th over. Tossed up and he misses out. He was enticing the batsman to go for it. The batsman obliged. Unfortunate that he does not get a wicket. He's annoyed by that, but he has to live with it after the end of 5:53 for no loss. It's good that they've got on to 50 without losing a wicket. That's the kind of start they were looking at. 7 more overs to go. Well, even if they get about 10 runs from here on, they should put up a formidable total for Crushers to take on. Well, yesterday they were lingering at about 60 runs after 8 overs, and that's how well they had bowled the Rovers. But after that, it was a one-man show, dazzling show from the captain of Crushers that took them to 1-4-1. And unfortunately, Rovers were not able to get to that target. But today is a different day, like we mentioned. And it started off with the Rovers with the bat. And thus far, it looks like they are on top. Right arm over, the bowler. And to bowl to Srinivas Rao. Square leg. Mid wicket, long on, long off. And sweeper cover. Straight to the man at short mid wicket, and he's taken. That is the first wicket. Uni, the man who picked up the wicket in the fielding department. Hari picks up a wicket, first delivery. And he's found a wicket for himself. Is he the golden arm that Crushers were looking for? Or will it just be one off? Because another swashbuckling batsman comes into the middle. A pinch hitter is Harish. Good batting from Srinivas comes to an end. Well, he was trying to go too hard at it. He didn't get the elevation. Ended up just too high on the bat and straight to the man at short mid wicket. Oh, that's a gem of a delivery. That's a peach to get in the very first delivery that you face. Well, that is a great ball. Well, he's not doing it pace. He's doing it with movement. He's using the conditions well under lights. Not much breeze around, to be honest, but he's just moving the ball from the leg stump line to the off stump. He's succeeded in doing that. The first delivery, the second, a slight movement. It doesn't have any effect on the batsman the second time round. Third delivery, he gets a cross for a single and he gets off strike. Shot one, put away towards point, running away to the fence, and a diving effort was required. An outstretched arm does nothing for them. It is still 4 runs. It takes a tickle on the arms, but not good enough. That was definitely a decent try, but not good enough from taking it to the boundary. Too full. Well played. Driven to the man at sweeper covers and gets across for a single. The captain starting to time the ball much better. When he started off, he was not able to time as much as he wanted. 59 for the loss of 1. 6 overs gone. They're treading at about almost 10 runs per over. 59 for 1. Captain to captain contest. Starts off with a single. He's coming back for the second. Good running between the wickets. Excellent running from the captain. He's got some confidence in himself. And that is instilled only when you get some balls on your bat. He's settled there. A swing and a miss. Well, the captain of Rovers was expecting that to be called a wide, but his expectations are crushed by the umpire. That's a lekker, a good shot. He took his own sweet time to get to that ball, and he's timed that to perfection. Well, what a great shot. Of course, it was moving around. He took his time, wanted to bludgeon that away in the first instant, but took his time, placed it very well, and put it away for 4 runs. Another leg cutter, a similar result, a similar area, but it's grounded this time, and he gets another 4. Well, dealing with boundaries all of a sudden is the captain. He's made the bat talk, and that's what's required. Well, we definitely got a match on cards. He's got a shot for every delivery that's being bowled at him right now. And that's how good he's turned out to be the captain. He's leading from the front. But that was a great shot. He had time, but he still had to put it right in between those fielders. And he pierces the field so very well. Captain to captain contest. This time round, it's the Rovers captain winning. Well, that was not a great shot. In fact, he should have gone for a slog sweep. His vision was right towards the mid-wicket, but the choice of shot could have been better. Oh, that's much better. This was Fuller. Chance of a run out and a mix-up. And that is a costly wicket. Either way, it's a costly wicket, but Harish will have to sacrifice his wicket for his captain. Unfortunate. There was a yes and a no situation. But like the coaches always tell you, when in doubt, the answer is no. Looks like they didn't get it right. The captain and the pinch hitter had a misunderstanding. Therefore, Harish has to sacrifice his wicket. Unfortunately, the captain now has to bear the guilt as well as take the team forward. But he's doing a good job thus far. After the end of 7, we've got 62, rather 69 for 2. Apologies. It's 69 for 2. A 10-run over. 69. 69. We got change in strike. The captain was sly enough to get the strike, but unfortunately, the scorer is on top of their scores. Captain, you can't cheat us. Hari comes back for his second over. Starts off over the wicket. Gets across. Pratik, the man in and replacing Harish, was involved in a run out. Well, that's a full toss. And straight to mid-wicket. Only a single. A throw from Sahel. That's a beautiful cut shot. That was such an elegant shot. He rose up from his stance, stood tall, and bludgeoned that, but unfortunately there was a fielder there. Again, same place, but at this time it's moving away from the fielder, who does well. It's only 2 runs. Well, he's having a good bat flow now. All of a sudden, the captain, the last few overs, he's seeing the ball better. And that's why he's been able to play those shots. Full toss! And straight to the man and the deep. It should be a no ball, of course. It was too high. Given a no ball by the umpire. And that will be a free hit. Irrespective of that catch being taken, it wouldn't have been adjudged out. So it will be a free hit. And a good chance for Pratik to chance a big hit and get settled. That's a good shot, but man in the deep should cut it off. Will they come back for the second? The captain was up for the task, but Pratik declining the request. Good return from the deep. Good fielding from that man at long off. Short one to the man at covers. That should have been taken towards mid-wicket. Well, it sat up very well for him. He should have dished out one towards mid-wicket. Rather, chose the offside field. Gets only a single to get off strike after the end of 8. It is 78 for 2. Uni back for his 3rd over. He's given away, rather 2nd over. The first one he cost him 19. Karthik on 28 from 18. Well bowled, well bowled. The first over, he was an expensive one at about 19. The second over, he starts off with a fuller delivery, almost to Yorker. He gets a dot delivery out. It's high up in the air towards cover point, running away to the fence. Cut shot by the man at deep backward point. It's 2 runs nevertheless. Much better bowling from Uni. He's corrected his line from the first over. Good shot. This time he places that much better. But again, not enough power behind it. Excellent throw from the deep. Well, if it were not for Pratik running like lightning, he wouldn't have made it. That throw was a bullet throw from the deep. What a hit that! Should be 6. And yes, it is. That is the monster hit. He knelt down and sent it into the eternity. Very good shot. He had a similar delivery in the previous over. He rather chose to go towards the offside because it was on middle stump. This was on the leg stump and he sent it packing. Off the offside, he was trying to reach for it. Gets only an edge to get a single off. That delivery, he could have done better. Rather than reaching out for it, he could have leant down and then put it towards the cover fielder. He was setting himself up, Pratik, for that big shot. That was an Andre Russ type move. Unfortunately, he doesn't get good connection Lucky enough for the bowler, he gets off for a single. And after the end of the over, scorecard reads 89 for the loss of 2. And the captain is batting on 39 with 23 deliveries. Seems to be a small commotion in the middle. The captain of Crusher is not happy about something. ಆಗ್ಲಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ 89. For 2 after the end of 9. They're treading constantly at 10 runs per over almost. Pratik comes back for another over. He's going to come around the wicket. Left arm around to the captain, who's batting on 39 from 23 deliveries. 11 short of a well-made 50. That takes an edge. Gets the outer side of the bat. The outside half. Thus not yielding the result that he was looking for. He gets offside, hands it over to Pratik. Another big hitter. Slower one, driven down the ground. The captain will be looking for 2. They settle for a single only. That high backlift of Pratik reminds me of Faf du Plessis. Really high backlift. Beautiful shot, but man, they're covering it. Well, he had his legs ready, the feet doing the job for him. He was covering with his hands. He didn't know whether it will fall in his hands or his legs, but his legs do the job for him. Oh, that's given a wide by the umpire. Goes down the leg side. He was trying to turn it down towards fine leg. Just find some gap. Slower one takes an edge. Very well bowled by Pratik. He knew that the batsman was trying to tonk him down the ground. Bowls a slower one, especially the leg cutter. Very, very effective against right-hand batsmen. Because the ball is always moving away. You will have to time it well, especially when you go towards the leg side. You're going across, so you will need more power and timing. Excellent delivery. That is a great Yorker to get rid of a big hitter. What a delivery. He set him up so well. That's the hallmark of a good bowler. A good bowler always does that. Set the batsman up during the gameplay. The previous one was a slower one, and he was expecting another one to come down fuller and faster. However, he delivers a toe-crushing Yorker, and he's crushed him under that expectation. With that, another wicket gone. The top order is back in the heart, and it's time for the middle order to do the job. And the new batsman, Rashmi Ranjan, The new batsman in the middle. Karthik on the other end is holding up one side of it for his team. He's done a good job. New batsman. Down the leg side, running away to the fence. Should be stopped by the fielder. But it looks like the ball will win the race. Doesn't go for 4 runs. Stopped by Vaishnavi. It's a wide. +3. Ultimately, it's 4 runs, but that delivery has to be rebowled. Good running between the wickets. Quick and fast these two men were, especially Karthik. Trying to go downtown, misses out. Was not there for the taking. That was not a shot that should have gone towards mid-wicket, rather towards long off. But he was trying to pull it apart from that line. Doesn't get much connection, ends up being a single. 98. A 9-run over the previous one. 98 for the loss of 3 after the end of 10. Going at about 9.8. And we've got the captain picking up the ball again. This is the captain's contest. The captain of Crushers has given away 24 runs in the two rather overs that he's bowled. That's a good shot. Right in between those two fielders, but the man in the deep should cut it off. Good return end shots. It's only 2 runs. That's 100 on the board. Swing and a miss. Second time around. He is fooled him with that delivery. Looping it up in the air and moving away. That's more like a leg spinner bowling to a right-hand batsman. And that's what they do. They flight it up, invite the batsman to go for that booming drive or downtown. And that's where they get beaten, especially when it's over the eye line. When the flighted delivery comes through, the batsman's eyes generally lit up. And they try to get that big hit out. And they get fooled by that length. Up in the air. Will it do the trick? It falls in between two converging fielders from long on and long off. Good running. They do come back for 2 runs. But turning out to be an expensive over. Oh, that's beautifully bowled again. Well, so much air from that delivery. He actually bowls right up. Doesn't even use the sidearm. Well bowled, well bowled. It's a high arm release and not easy generally with a high arm release to move the ball as much as he's doing it. But considering that it's more of a finger spinner, he's being able to do that. Rather, this is more of a cutter rather than a spinner. But generally with leather ball, that's the case. That should be 2 runs or at least a single. Yes, it is a single. Or typically when batsmen have an issue with the high arm spinners trying to move the ball so much. An example is Sunil Narayan or Varun Chakravarti with that high arm release. After the end of 11, 103 for 3. Prateek coming back for another over. He will continue to bowl from around the wicket. 103 for 3 after the end of 11. Left arm around to the captain. Oh, that's well bowled. It's not given a wide by the umpire considering he moved towards the offside while playing. Shuffling across, and that's what the umpire has to say. He's one shot away from 50. 47. Oh, is that? Looks like it was close and is given good stumping from the captain of Crushers. It's given a wide, of course, by the umpire. But that is brilliant. Good piece of work. He picks off the bail in a flash. Well, with that height, it's not easy to stay low, crouch, and then get that delivery out from his reach. But the only thing that worked in his favor is that the ball moving away, he was still able to get his arms around it to throw it back onto the stumps. If it was someone who has a lesser reach, that's basically with less height, he wouldn't have even got to the ball in the first place. That's the advantage he had. But the better thing was that he had a longer reach. That's well bowled. Another stumping attempt. He wanted 2 in 2. Not happening, but that is 2 wides in a row. Pawan on strike. It's being greeted with a wide delivery. Sure, anything and everything from here needs to be dispatched. Slow one, well bowled. Vaishnavi stops that delivery from going away to the boundary. But the way she caught it was like she's covering up a treasure. Wide down the offside. That should be 4. The ball wins the race. That is unnecessary from Pratik. Trying too much. Not great work from the keeper, but nevertheless, it still should have been kept under the lines. It's 5 runs, of course. He was trying to keep it under the lines, is not able to. That's well bowled. Much better, much better. Well, looks like he likes to have that ball bowled because he's got 2 fielders in the deep on the offside. But this is a much better line to bowl, especially when you got 3 fielders on the leg side, especially long on and mid-wicket in place. That 4th stump line channel can do a world of good when that's the case. This is going down towards the offside. It's given a bye by the umpire. Well bowled, says the umpire, and the batsman was looking for a wide this time round. Well, everything happening in the middle. Last ball of the innings. Comes towards the offside, Rashmi. And goes for 4 runs to finish the innings on a high. That is a brilliant finish. And after the end of 12, Rovers have set a target of 116. For the loss of 4, they've scored 115. And that is a good score. 116 the target set by Rovers. But on the other hand, do not forget that Crushers were able to get 140 yesterday. Will they do a repeat? It is still 20 short from where they had scored 140. But don't count them out. Rovers do have a decent bowling attack, which they showed during the first 8 overs yesterday. And if they continue to do that today, they should be walking away with a victory. If not, it would be Crushers who would be doing that job. That's a much better shot. Good timing on this one. But a huge chase in the deep. And an excellent stop from that man there. He dropped the cat, but he's made it up. Chance of the run out of the non-strikers was the chance, but then it was on the strikers as the second. Nevertheless, beautiful chase from that man. He had to sprint across so quickly to get to that. He does that. And after the end of the over, scorecard reached 12 for the loss of nothing. Three overs gone, 12 for nothing. And that was a really good chase. Amir, the man who ran so quickly to get across and stop that from going to the fence. Well, if he had taken that catch in the previous instance, wouldn't have had the opportunity to sprint that far as well. That's how you may have to look at it, especially when it is two really good batsmen in the middle who are able to make that impact. "12 for no loss after the end of 3. They need to get another 88 to qualify. And this is right arm over. Pratik to Rishabh. Good shot! Fabulous hit that. The moment he hit it, it was going only one way. It was going over the rope. Well, he reached out for it, but a really good shot. That is why he's a dangerous man. He can make it count. Not easy to bowl to someone who can pinch hit. That immediately changes the field. Man from long off walks in to long on, and I hope that he does not bowl towards the offside. Much better, but he should have left it alone rather. That was a good try, but when he knew it was going down the leg side, he was still with the right hand stance. If had he left that off, it would have been still wide. That's bad bowling. That is not really good bowling. That's poor bowling with both the fielders on the leg side. Not the best of the deliveries to bowl. You need to bowl to your field. And that's what we had called out a couple of deliveries ago. When you're trying to bowl towards the offside, one on the offside is definitely necessary, especially if its length, a cover or a point is needed. If it's more fuller on the offside, one at long off is necessary. But when you've got a long on and mid-wicket, you don't bowl that. Well bowled. A much better delivery. This was fuller. Unlike Rishabh usually does, he does not go for a big one. He just tries to caress that. He was dancing around and he's been made to dance back to the pavilion. Well, what a wicket. That is definitely a big wicket. He was shimmying down the ground back and forth. And he's been made to wait. And he sent him packing back to the pavilion. Good bowling from Pratik. He was not disturbed. He was unperturbed by that movement. And that's brilliant bowling. An interesting match as we spoke. If Crushers get 100, they're through to the next round. On the other hand, if Rovers restrict them under 100 runs, which is 98 as well, they will get through. If it's 99, it's going to be a super over. Power play over in progress. Jagan, the captain, in. He almost gets a wicket there, Pratik. It was an under edge. Well, the expectations from their captain was to dive like ABD, but even Superman couldn't get to that, I'm sure. Too fast reaction times after the end of the over. $20 for 1 after the end of 4. They need to score another 80 to qualify. Another 96 to win this. I'm sure their target is 100, not really 116. But if you have to make a statement, I'm sure they'll be targeting 116. But on the other hand, I'm sure the captain will be very cautious not to try and overdo things. Just get to 100 as quickly as possible. And from there on, take it as it goes. But the thinking had to be on for the Rovers captain. He has a lot to think about. 20 on the cards. 4 overs gone. Another 8 more left. He needs to rotate his bowlers well. Otherwise, you've seen what happened yesterday between these two teams. The captain of Crushers can take them apart. And he is well known for that big hitting as well. But will this time be the Rovers getting a victory? Or will Crushers continue their winning run against Rovers? It all boils down to the next 8 overs. And the captain entrusts Srinivas with the ball. He did a good job with the bat. And now will he replicate that with the ball? Shivakar on strike. Jagan at the non-striker's end. First ball over the wicket. Good shot. Down to goes long off. I'm sure the captain will be happy with a single. Tall and lanky man is the captain. Built enough to send the ball for a towering 6. He's done that time and again in this innings. Yesterday against this team. But today is a different day. And the bowler ahead of him is Srinivas. Trademark shuffle. That was a easy delivery as per his books. I'm sure it sat up very well, but he missed out. But for him, missing out on such a good delivery is no good. First delivery, shot and missed out. What will he do the second? Again, shot. 2 in 2 for him. Well, he's used to so much pace that he is unable to connect these two. Too good for a batsman of his stature. Well, lucky enough, Srinivas. If Srinivas does this again, he will be sent to his own Nivas. Oh, this is brilliant bowling. Much better delivery from Srinivas. Srini does a good job third time around. Third time's the chance. Third time's the charm as well. That's the shot we were talking about. And that goes for 4 runs, says the fielder. It's adjudged for by the umpire as well. Good shot. This is what he was looking at. Well, anything that comes fast at him, he sends it faster to the boundary. Looks like the trick is to bowl slower against him, at least for the first 2 deliveries. One heck of a contest this is going to turn out. Up in the air, chance of a catch! Almost taken! Good effort from Amir, but he was a tad slow. He was a tad slow and he missed out. But a good effort to get to it. Well, we've always heard catches win matches. Is that the change that they were looking at? Is that the change in the game? 26 for 1 after 5. The captain, Karthik. Coming over the wicket is the captain himself with the ball. He's got long on, long off, mid-wicket, square leg, and one at sweeper cover. Well bowled. Pratik trying to stop that from going for 2 runs and does the job well. It is going to be a battle of 6s. That's what Jagan deals with. Slower one and he's cleaned him up. That is the end of Shivaka. Well, he was trying to drive it. It was a little slower in the air and he was beaten for pace. Well bowled. Karthik has picked up a wicket up front. First delivery. And he has got a wicket for this team. Will he turn out to be the golden arm? He'd had a good time in the middle with the bat. Looks like he's up for the task with the ball as well. But it's all about how it turns out with that one man at the non-striker's end. That's going to be the big battle card that they will have to deal with. If they win that battle, it's half the battle won. 27 for 2. 5.2 gone. 27 for 2. First delivery that Shivaka faces. Karthik. And he misses out. You miss, I hit, says Karthik, and he's got his first wicket. Uni starts off with a good hit, but found the fielder. And the fielder hasn't found the ball. Well, he's lost another catch. Catches win matches. Let me remind you again. 2 big catches put down thus far. Oh, that was a big swing attempted. That big swing gets only 1 run. Good bowling from the captain. Had got an opportunity to get rid of Uni. But unlucky. Gets an under edge. Surviving dangerously in the middle is Uni. The first 2 deliveries that he's faced. That's well driven. Straight to the man at covers. If it had been another day, they would have ran for that. But considering the situation, Uni did not after the end of another over. 29. Just a 2 run over that. It's a 3-run over. The first ball was a single. After that, he picked up a wicket. Brilliant bowling. Incredible stuff that from the captain. He's leading the charge. He's handling his troops very well. Well, that's what confidence does. When you do well as a captain with the ball or the ball and the bat. In this case, it's with the bat thus far. And he picked that confidence up from his bat. And now it is translating into the ball as well. Such a humbler cricket is. 1 point, you can be flying high, and the next, you're back in the hut. Doesn't matter if you're on 47, 49, 99, whatever it is. All it takes is one good delivery for the batsman to get out. On the other hand, it's a gruesome sport for the bowler. Well, you can be carted along different sides of the park, get beat in every single delivery, but yet you will have to come back and get those wickets for your team. But if you do that job very well, you are the prized possession in the team. With all the big bats that we possess these days, the bowler's job has become twofold from what it used to be earlier. And with all of these innovations, in terms of reverse hits, rams, paddles, and whatnot, it's only become more and more difficult for the bowlers. And with that, the wide line has come as a reprieve for the bowlers. The new wide lines that are being tested, the margins. He helps it on its way, and it should be 4 runs. He does go for 4 runs. It was not great bowling. Bowled a slower one down the leg side. Goes for 4 runs and is given a no ball by the umpire. Looks like there's a discussion in the middle. Some animation, some entertainment for the spectators from the captain. And that's adjudged to no ball, so it has to be re-bowled. And to make it worse, it's a free hit. 34 for 2. Another no ball. The free hit continues. I can't believe that he's bowled a no ball to a man who's towering more than about 6-7 feet from what I look at. Ali's going to relish this. He does. Going away for another boundary. Will it be stopped? No, it isn't. It's another boundary. Well, Jagan is starting to crush the hopes of Rovers. He's doing what he does best. 4s and 6s, but that's poor bowling in fact. The last 3 deliveries that he's bowled were definitely subpar bowling attempt. That effort will not get them any closer to victory. Only getting away from them. And if he does that for the next over or 2, they would find themselves in a precarious situation. It's a different shot attempted. That was unnecessary from Jagan in fact. While the going is good, never try too much because that could have ended up as a catch. Try to stick to what you're doing best unless it's required. Sometimes you tend to get too greedy for runs and it can go against your favor. You've got change in field. You've got backward point in place, moving to conventional point. That's a beautiful shot. Running away to the fence. There's no stopping that, is it? He does a good job, but not good enough to stop that from going to the fence. That is 4 runs. Great shot, that good pickup. He picked up that line and length very early and smacks it towards the cover region, that empty space. The man from long off or wide long off did a lot to come there and cut it off. Was not able to get there. Got change in field. We've got deep point. Or sweeper cover rather. Erring in line. Not great rhythm from Srinivas. Well, he did the job with the bat, with the ball. He's trying his best. But is not able to keep up. Full toss and put away in style. Oh, that's good fielding. That's excellent fielding in the deep. That should be 2. That should be 2 runs. Good fielding in the deep. Good cover from that man. Rahul. Short one, slashed across towards the sweeper cover, who cuts it off at deep point. Only a single. .48 for 2. They're almost halfway through the target. 1 more to go of the 7th over. How will he finish? He's already given away 25 runs as Srinivas with 1 more to go. Bowls a faster one. And he got lucky, the keeper, because he spilt it or didn't run for it. After the end of 7, 48 for 2 it remains. 68 required in 30 to win the match. The same time, 52 required to qualify to the next round. 7 overs gone. 5 more to go. They need to score about 10 runs per over with that man in the middle. It can seem easy. But joining the party along with Jagan, Uni, who's doing a good job as well, getting that odd boundaries for his team. .52 required in 5 overs. This is turning out to be a humdinger of an affair. Well, 116 is what they need to win the match. I'm sure that's out of the party right now for Crushers. What they will look for rather is to get to 100 to qualify, because that's the intent. Getting to 100 will help them qualify to the next stages. On the other hand, Rovers fighting a battle to stop them from getting there. To bowl his second over is the captain himself, Karthik, coming over the wicket. Uni tries to drive it. Is only able to drill that through for a single. Fine leg in place. In fact, deep backward square leg coming into place. The deep point coming into sweeper cover position is being moved to cover point. Is that an edge? It has. Is it? No, it looks like there's a call from the leg umpire. There needs to be a quick check. Hold on, hold on. Let the captain have a conversation, please. Let the captain have a conversation to get to what they need. I request the other team members to move aside. Spectators showing their dissent. Match referee jogging in coolly while there is a heated discussion in the middle. Sir, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಓಡಿ sir. I request only the captain to have a conversation, no one else, please. Match referee, please do facilitate that conversation. The umpires have declared that out, and that will see the end of the captain, Jagan. A mighty wicket, a big blow in the chances of winning this for Crushers. But we are still yet to count them out because they have big batsmen in their ranks. Batsmen who can tonk it big. But let me tell you, it is now interestingly poised. A big, big wicket. And that will reinstate the chances for Rovers to make deeper inroads. There was some amount of discussion between the organizers, the umpires, as well as the captains. We've come to a conclusion that he needs to go back. We've got a new batsman walking into the middle. Rohan is the new batsman. Rohan making his way into the middle after that big, big wicket of Jagan, the captain of Crushers, who was slowly but steadily crushing the expectations of Rovers to qualify. But with his wicket, things can turn topsy-turvy for Crushers. But will that be the case? Or will it be Crushers who will still have the upper hand against Rovers? The captain doing the damage for Crushers. The captain of Rovers, to be precise. Bowled a brilliant delivery, of course, to get rid of Jagan. There was a moment in the game yesterday as well where there was a conversation around him edging down the leg side versus Pratik. And today too, his wicket, a prized wicket, had a heated discussion. The teams to sort it out finally. He's been adjudged out with Rohan in the middle. Left-hand batsman to face Karthik for the first time. And he will come around the wicket. He's to bowl around the wicket. And this will be a new beginning with the big hitter back in the hut. 49 for 3. 7.2 gone. Good bowling. Swing and a miss from Rohan. Good keeping from Srinivas. 2 dot balls, pressure counting, pressure mounting. Pressure is daunting. Up in the air. And Pratik for a second was comprehending whether to go for a dive or not. But ultimately decides not to. That's a good ball. Beautiful delivery. Moving into the batsman. All of a sudden, this is looking like a different pitch that these two folks are batting on. After the end of the over, scorecard reads 50 for 3. By the end of 8, they need to score another 50 in 4 overs to qualify. This is turning out to be an interesting match. Will it come down to the last ball? Will we have a last ball thriller? Even better for the spectators. Will this turn out to be a super over? Every single chance possible. 24 deliveries. 50 runs required. A tad about 12 runs per over. Rahul, the man, picking up the ball. And he's to bowl around the wicket. Considering it's a left-hander in the middle. Rohan to face Rahul. We've got a deep cover. Square leg. Mid-wicket. No mid-wicket. Interesting. Long on, long off. Down the ground. Should only be a single. That will change the overall complexion of the game. The right hand, left hand combination. Unni on strike. Up in the air. Man at square leg coming in, or chance of a run out, and should be an easy one. Big wicket in the form of Unni Krishnan. He was left hoping for the ball to be missed at the keeper's end. He was startled that he was coming back for 2 runs in himself. Was not looking for 2, but that call has turned out to be a disaster. And with that, we've got a new man coming in. Well, this is turning out to be a brilliant match for us. Coming down to the wire. It's a chilly evening, but a heated contest in the middle. A spicy one for sure, with 2 teams battling it out for their spot in the next round. What better? It is either now or never, the situation. Easily played it towards mid-wicket. Looks like it took his arms. He was not happy about that, hitting the arms. He still had to put it away. And he does that. It's 1 run. Rohan back on strike. They can get some quiet overs in. It goes down the leg side. Pavani. Excellent fielding. Body behind the ball. That's basics. It's just that she felt like she was confessing to the father in the church. Fell down on both the knees. Down the ground it goes for a single. Coming back for 2. Are they? Looks like he will be. Excellent running. That's really, really good running from the non-striker. Rohan. Fast between the wickets. Oh, swing and a miss. That was a big, big hit. Loading from the man at striker's end. Unfortunately, he misses out. That's a good over to complete. 56 on the cards. And we need another 60 to win the overall game. And another 44 in 4 overs. Or rather 3 overs. 44 in 3 overs. That's 44 in 18 deliveries. Wow, this has turned out to be a great, great match. For a few overs, the Rovers were on top. And the next, we had Crushers coming over them. And now again, it's Rovers rowing their way back into the game. Will it again turn tables? Or from here on, will it be Rovers? 44 required in 18 deliveries, with Prati coming over the wicket to Rohan. No mid-wicket in place, with him coming around the wicket. It's an interesting choice. Put it towards square leg. Coming back for two, are they? No, it's only a single. Good work. Good work from the senior most cricketer in the team. Oh, that's a swing and a miss. That was so close. It looked like it missed by a whisker. It was almost a wicket. But that swing, had he connected that, that could have been a rocket. He connects up in the air. And it bounced off the fielder at mid-wicket. That's a good throw from the deep, but Rahul, I hope he hasn't hurt himself in the process. But my, that was a great shot attempted. Not great connection, but in the end it's been dropped. A chance gone begging. He's still in the middle. He can do the damage. It's up in the air. Pratik calls it. And he's taken. That is another biggie. Well, a big wicket. Another big hitter walking back. Hari, the new batsman, walking in. And that is really good bowling from Pratik. He's got a wicket. This time he does the job himself. Doesn't rely on his fielders. He said, I'm done with you guys. I'll deal it myself. And gets that wicket for himself. While trying to infuse more heat into the game, we are coming down to the wire. But at this point in time, it's moving towards Rovers. A cheeky attempt from Hari, the very first delivery he faces. The first one, he sat down awkwardly and wanted to guide that away towards third man, misses out. See what he's capable of. The next delivery, Pratik. Try to put a short one, effort delivery, but put away towards covers. Coming back for two. And a bullet throw from the deep again. That man in the deep, he's making his shoulder talk. Well, that is a really good throw from the deep to end the over. After the end of that, 10 overs, 60. Another 40 required in the next two. 220 run over. Is this possible? Nothing is impossible. But to make that happen, they will have to play their skins out. Crushers. Karthik with the ball. The captain has bowled well this innings and batted well too. Well, that was a new shot for me as well. I don't have any terms to coin that. Yesterday we did that with the Venkat. He came up with a new shot called Venkat. I don't know what to name this. That's running away towards fine leg. Should only be a single. Coming back for second. Good running, that is. That is really good running between the wickets. But the captain will not be perturbed. The captain's so confident that he started giving out names for that new shot as well. That's how confident he's been in the middle. It's a good shot, not good enough. For 6, neither for 4. So it is only a single. Well, they've started to believe in themselves, Rovers, from here on. It is more one-sided, but on the other, Rohan and Hari can still do it. 4 sixes, and things can change. He's coming around for the left-hander. Looks like he'll bowl alternate. Well, that takes the outside half of the bat for a double. Good throw from the deep again. Booming throws. Looks like the man at square leg as well as deep point have really good shoulders. The throws are beaming in like lightning. That's a good shot down the ground. Will they come back for 2 runs? They should ideally. There was a 2 there for sure. It was not taken by Hari or Rohan. That's the longest part of the ground. He had the opportunity to get it, but denied at the end. That's a good shot. Man at backward square leg stops it. Chance of a run out. Should be a run out. And the keeper was not up to the task. That was a good throw, in fact. Well, looks like they've completed another great over for themselves after the end of the 11th. Scorecard reads 68 for 5. 32 required to qualify for Crushers. Well, their expectations to qualify are being crushed under good bowling of Rovers. That one man made the difference. The captain was blazing away from one end and he could have made the difference. But however, that wicket has made a change and a beautiful catch almost taken. He was juggling it away. He had it under control until the last second, but then he decides to let that off his grip. Last over, they needed 32 to qualify. That took the legs. It was appealing the bowler. It has been written on the wall now. It is going to be Rovers unless we have unnecessary wides or extras or no balls. With this, it should seal the victory. But Rahul decides to let slip another. He's not having a good day in the field. He's dropped quite a few, but that shouldn't hurt them anymore. They're more or less qualifying to the next round. Down the ground it goes for a single. And now it is on the wall, the writing. And Rovers will be moving to the next round. Crushers have been crushed under the expectations of trying to go big. Now they've started appealing for everything just because they have the opportunity to. Down the leg side, given a wide. Rahul's not happy about finishing this quickly. Looks like he still wants to be in the game. Relish what he's done here. Up in the air, will that be caught? Man running. Decides to stop that. With that, it is the end of the match. And officially, we can declare that Rovers are moving ahead. And Crushers are not going to be a part of the next rounds. Rovers will be a happy lot for taking it through. And the redemption finally happens. And at the right time for them. With that, we officially close the end of the day and the match. It is Rovers making it to the next round. Congratulations. On the other hand, Crushers, hard luck. but never ever down and out. With that, we sign off the day. Sukut signing off. Thank you, everyone.